is a nice little drive on a perfect day in Michigan. I'll let a bike rider get past here. But this is my 1966 Valiant Convertible. Pretty unusual to have a convertible Valiant. Most Valiants were pretty affordable cars. And also this car has some really interesting and unusual items, performance items. It has a 273 cubic inch Commando engine. That's high compression pistons, and it comes with a 4-barrel carburetor too. So it runs really nice. Was ordered with the 4-speed. Again, really unusual for almost any Valiant. And also disc brakes and sport suspension package. So the bottom line is this car's really unique. That's what makes it really unique. And being a convertible on top of it is pretty cool. But for a 60-year-old car, this car will be, I think, 60 years old in about 12 weeks. It can keep up with modern-day traffic pretty much as it was made. You know, it came right out the factory door. Pretty amazing. Like I say, just a really nice day here. I want to make some more videos about my car. I figure this would just be a good introduction, and I could test out a driving video. Like I say, a perfect day, and hopefully you can see these have these little vent windows. The one thing I'm adding to it is, if you notice the push buttons in the dash here, those are for factory air conditioning. This is my 1966 Plymouth Valiant Convertible. Now, someone ordered this with some really great options. Well, first, it's convertible, so there weren't too many Valiant convertibles made, and most people don't think of Valiants as having a convertible model. Most were 4 doors, real basic transportation. But this is a convertible, is ordered with the Barracuda high performance engine, the 273 Commando, has high compression pistons, a 4-barrel carb on it, and that all came from the factory that way. In addition, they ordered it with a 4-speed with the console, and both the transmission and the console are optional. It has a sport suspension, so it comes with a little wider wheels and a little stiffer springs, and most importantly, a front sway bar. Pretty standard today on most cars, but kind of unusual back in an American car in this time period. And also, it has disc brakes on it, so this is very competent in modern traffic. It, you know, just as it was made, I can take it out and drive in contemporary traffic. You know, can keep up pretty well. A lot of cars today are very fast, but most importantly, it has decent brakes. So about the only upgrade that's on it are radial tires. Other than that, it's pretty much, you know, as it came out of the factory. Now, I am working on putting air conditioning in it, but that's a whole nother story. That was about the only factory option not on this car. So here's the engine, and they did quite a bit to dress this engine compartment up. The chrome air cleaner with the nice Commando 273 graphics on it. That's how it came right out of the factory, right out of the dealer. Also had these rather nice crinkle black valve covers that have the aluminum fins, heat sinks sort of thing, that double as spark plug holders. So Pretty cool stuff. Now, I've got electronic ignition on it. That's a really nice upgrade. And I've also put a dual reservoir master cylinder. It's just a lot safer with a single reservoir. As soon as you have one leak anywhere in the system, your brakes are gone. So with this, at least you have some portion of your brakes left. Now I am working on putting factory air conditioning in this. See this big old-fashioned air conditioning compressor. The plumbing's not in there, so I need to get all that plumbing refurbished. So it was kind of a chore tracking down all of the air conditioning parts for this, because not too many Valiants back then had air conditioning on them. Haven't really cleaned the interior up this year, but I did want to show that it has the optional bucket seats. Most of these came with a bench, even on a convertible, and has an optional center console. Now there's no power anything on this, no power windows, no power brakes, nothing. But we do get the cool old-fashioned vent windows here that can get a lot of fresh air in and out. And I really wanted the interior of this car to be sort of, not perfect, but as it was originally. And there's a lot of, like on the door panels and the seats, there's this weird, hopefully you can see it, ostrich pattern in the vinyl. Luckily, Legendary makes seat covers, so I've replaced the seat covers, and most of the other interior components have come from various cars that I have been able to obtain these parts. Some of them I parted them out. So this car is in pretty decent condition, but it's not perfect by any means. Very solid. Does have a little bit of rust here and there, but these were not cars that, you know, people would preserve like an expensive Corvette or a sports car or a Porsche or something like that. So you really don't want to restore one of these cars. It's really difficult tracking down all the parts you need. A good example is this front grille. Everything except the centerpiece is aluminum, so it's very easily damaged. And these individual headlight rings are separate pieces, and usually there's some sort of dent or ding. So I've had this car about 20 years, and I've been looking for all these little bits and pieces, you know, to make it look presentable. I'm not looking for perfect parts. I'm just making it look, you know, kind of like if I was in high school in the mid-70s, you know, a used car. Just really presentable. But finding all these pieces, there's all these pieces of side trim between the silver and the dark blue. And it's really hard to find those pieces, and it's really hard to find those pieces that are in decent shape. You know, they're not all damaged or dented up or corroded. Taillights are a real challenge on these. Real similar to the 66 Barracuda taillights, so the chrome piece is the same. Some of the lenses are the same. So even if you do find some good ones, say on eBay, there's usually someone trying to make their Barracuda look nice. Then on top of it, you know, it's a convertible, and they didn't make too many of these. So a lot of the special convertible pieces are just challenging to find. But I've, like I say, been looking for about 20 years, and I've got pretty much most of the stuff I need to make it look, I wouldn't say good, but really presentable. So and if you were restoring one of these, finding the parts is really going to be the hard part. You're much better off with something more common, like a Camaro or something like that. But, you know, I've got most of the stuff to make it look pretty presentable. I see my emblem here is a good example. It says Signet. It's supposed to say Valiant Signet. Kind of like the other side. So I think I've got one from another car that looks pretty decent. So fun little car, and it's not worth a lot of money. So the value in this is me enjoying it, driving it around, taking it to Cars and Coffee cruises and stuff like that. And today is a perfect day here to do that. So I'm gonna go enjoy it. Well, just a nice day for a drive in my 1966 Plymouth Valiant Convertible. Just figure I'd make a little short.